So, my dear students, I welcome you all once again in the land law class. This is Dr. Mrinalini Singh in continuation with your last lecture, which was on the zamindari system. And as I have told you, that when we talk about the land law, it not only speaks, it not only tells that today only we are cultivating, today only we are getting the farmers, but yes, you can say that during the British time also, this kind of practice been practiced, right? So, as in my last lecture, I told you that how this Lord Canning gave the concept of your zamindari system. He gave basically the concept of your zamindars. He told how the people are going to cultivate the land. What are the procedures? But yes, what was the vesting year? Today I am going to tell you, as I told you, that I will be continuing with the reason. Because when you are abolishing a certain thing, you are going to speak about the specific reasons. So what was the reason? Because you cannot abolish, you cannot delete, or you cannot overrule a rule. So you have to be very specific about it. So the reason as to why we talk about the zamindari system has to be abolished, or it had to be abolished, because it was not giving the certain kind, or you can say the fruitfulness which we expected. So when we talk about the reasons behind it, so for first reason, which was authentic, that under the zamindari system, our people, when we talk about the peasants, they themselves were not recognized as the owners of the land. The main basic, you can say, like it is I can give you an example. If you are having a house and if you are living in it and you are house arrested, you are living with the others' terms and conditions. So was the case with the farmers. Because there was a monopoly, they were doing the thing. They were like, you can say, laborers. They were having their land, but they were not free to cultivate. Or you can say that they were treated as slaves. They were not the owners. And how you can imagine, if you are owner of your house and if you are not given the treatment properly, if you are not given this right, then how would you feel? So was the case that these owners, landowners, were not recognized by their ownership. So what happened? The tenants at any time, who were the tenants? That any time they can be ejected. There was no surety. And if you are not having any surety, then what will happen? You will have an insecurity feeling. There was no fixation of the rent. And you can say that the people were not having the contention. The people were basically in the hands of the Britishers. Like they wanted to improve the productivity, they had to ask with the Britishers. They had to take the permission. And if you are not free to do a work, then it is worthless. So first thing was that they are having their land, but they were not the owners of the land. They were treated as a slave. And Like there was no surety to their tenureship. At any time they can be evicted or ejected. And if they wanted to improve the production of the land, that was also not allowed. Then the second reason was there were various classes of intermediaries. When we talk about the intermediaries, it basically talks about the middle people, right? Middle people, like if you are owner of the land and I am working in your land, and there is a party who deals between you and me, then that is the intermediary, who were functioning as the rent receiver. And they were nothing. Like you can say these people, the zamindars, when you talk about, they were far from the moral principles. At that time, you can say there was a rule, or there was a saying, you can say, he who does not work shall not eat either. So you can live without water, you can live without anything, but if you are, and I'm sorry, if I say water also, that is very difficult, but yes, when you talk about the starvation you can say, then it is very difficult. You have to feed your stomach. So there was a slogan at that time during the zamindari system, that he who will work will only have the right to eat. And if there were people who were not ready to work, they will be removed. So you can see how our countrymen, or how our, you can say, people of agriculture class were treated. The first reason you can say that they were not treated as the owner of the land. Second, they were at the concept ki, you can say, these people compelled everybody to work, and they told that he who will not work will not have the right to eat. Then the third reason was that the zamindars class was the social base. Why? By the Britishers to help only. And these Britishers created a creation, and what happened? These Britishers compelled our people to work, but our people cannot apply their own mind. They were like a puppet to their hands, you can say. Then the fourth reason you can say was you can say, in order to increase the state revenue, the abolition of zamindari was inevitable. And then came that the improvement of cultivators, the soil of the landlords. And then you can say ki, when you are the owner of the land, and if you cannot take the decision of yourself, because every time you have to improve the productivity of the land. So it was very, if you are giving the land, if you are having everything, but you are not free to cultivate on your land, then this was the saddest part. So this was also a reactionary in abolition of zamindari system. So when we talk about, these were all type of evils which were prevailing in zamindari system. So what happened? When the revenue, this your land revenue commission, that was your 1940, which came up, and zamindari system has developed so many defects that it ceased to serve a national interest. And when something is like lacking a national interest, then this becomes an evil. So these were all the reasons which came up in the abolition of your zamindari system. So my dear students, give a revision to this, and then we will start with the features of the UP zamindari and abolition land reform. Thank you so much.